One of the reasons we chose France for our one-year sabbatical is it felt perfectly positioned to visit so many other countries in Europe. France is pretty central, really.
Yeah, but we're on our third summer here, and besides a quick jaunt across the border for a couple days in Switzerland and Italy, we've chosen to stay in France for every summer vacation so far.
Which it turns out is really quite typical.
Yeah.
We've seen statistics reporting anywhere from 70% all the way up to 90% of French people stay in France for their summer grand vacances as well.
At this point, I feel like I may have figured out why. You just don't need to leave. Every corner of France offers something different, and it's just incredible.
In this video, we want to take you along to some of those lesser known corners of France that we fell in love with this summer. Hi, I'm Jason.
I'm Raina.
We're Baguette Bound, an American family of three living in the southwest countryside of France since 2022. We talk about moving, adjusting, and enjoying our life in France.
So if when you think of France, you think mostly of Paris or Nice, you're not alone. But for the next few minutes, we want to introduce you to some other gems throughout France that you may want to explore. We're going to start close to home in southwest France with Arcachon Bay. And while this area is quite well known to the French and many Europeans, it's not so much for Americans. It's just an hour train ride from Bordeaux towards the coast on a bay off of the Atlantic.
In Arcachon, you'll find a very sophisticated beachside city with beautiful neighborhoods, gardens, a bustling commercial area, and a gorgeous beachfront.
Also, the ice cream in this city never seemed to end.
That's hard to beat. The area has historically been the land of oyster farming. The oysters of Arcachon Bay are well regarded. We took a boat tour to one of the smaller fishing villages on the other side of the bay for a dégustation of frites de mer. It was incredible. Incroyable.
Yes.
The small villages in the area around have a very different feel than the bigger cosmopolitan Arcachon. And the contrast and being able to see the differences in the same weekend was just wonderful.
Yeah, so now if you adore the architecture that you see in Arcachon, but want something just a little more quaint, a little more human-sized, we advise you take a different train from Bordeaux out to Soulac-sur-Mer. This is one of our dear Benoit's recommendations.
Yeah.
It's about an hour and 45-minute train ride from Bordeaux and worth every minute.
The houses have reminded us of kind of the cute miniature versions of these grand homes that you would see in Arcachon. And this town, while definitely a bit touristy, it still felt like a place that we could live.
It did. There are long stretches of car-free biking trails through the pine forests, and they're just off of the coast. So you're in the trees, in the shade, and yet you're still close enough to feel the breeze and smell the ocean.
Yeah.
It's really nice.
The beaches with their blue and white striped tents that are for rent during the day, it felt like we were in some sort of classic holiday beach movie.
Yeah, and then you can also stop by. They have a super vibrant daily covered market. Pick up things for a picnic, or what we did is found a little lunch spot or a cool drink just off the side of the bike trail at a summer pop-up restaurant, which are called
Guinguettes.
Thank you.
Yeah. And don't forget to visit the Statue of Liberty here. Juliana thought this was so much fun to see
Look at
here
that.
in France. Yeah.
And it's not even our first Statue of Liberty. There's several throughout
There's several
France.
statues of Liberty found around the country.
But it never gets old.
Yeah. Now, of course, the Côte d'Azur at the Mediterranean is incredible, and it's well known for a reason. But you may definitely want to try moving beyond just Nice or Saint-Tropez. This is Cassis, a seaside town at the start of the Calanque National Park. It's about a 30-minute train ride outside of Marseille.
The harbor and the beaches are gorgeous day or night. And it's really a great base to explore the Calanques, either by boat, you can take a tour from the harbor, or by land. There's actually one of the hiking trails that starts right out of this town.
And just like everywhere in France, surrounded by vineyards. Vineyards on one side, ocean on the other. It's a great spot. As we keep moving across France to the east, we end up at the Alps. You may be more familiar with the more popular French Alp areas like Mont Blanc or Chamonix, but those areas can be very crowded and very expensive.
Yeah, so instead, we hiked the French Alps from Navache, a tiny mountain town that's very near Branson. So we left our car in Navache and hiked right out of town, right up into the mountains. The first day was 5 hours up the mountain to this refuge that is only accessible by foot. It was, I know we keep using the word incredible, but it just was.
There were many incredibles.
Yeah. You know, like as you just get done hiking, it's hot, you're so tired, and then you just come into this clearing and you see cool water cascading out of a fountain. There's homemade pastries. There's places to just relax for the afternoon, to explore, have a refreshing beverage, just admire the mountains and the fact that you made it.
That first evening, we spent the night at the refuge along with 30 other weary hikers, a collection of individuals, groups, and families, really from all over Europe. For dinner, everyone ate family-style together at large shared tables inside the refuge, where we had the most unexpected, extraordinary meal.
So good.
Yeah.
Not complicated, but so good.
There was blueberries and capers in the same sauce. I've never had that before.
Oh my God, yeah.
And, you know, there were 3 courses because while we may be on the top of a mountain and have no cell phone coverage, we are still in France.
Yeah.
After dinner, we played cards, we sipped hot cocoa as the sun was setting, and the refreshing kind of evening mountain chill kind of swept in and settled into the refuge.
Yeah, the atmosphere at both this refuge and the one we stayed at the next night, it's just very convivial with the other hikers. And honestly, the beds were quite cozy and more comfortable than I expected. The next morning, we actually hiked across the mountains to a second refuge and stayed there for the night. And then on the third day, we hiked back down to Navache to our cars. The views, the wildflowers, the flowing streams, I will just never forget the beauty and the peace of being there. It was really like a bucket list trip for me.
It was pretty incredible. And there were hard moments. You are climbing up a mountain, and there were definitely
We're not mountain climbers, okay?
Exhausting moments.
That's not our thing.
But it was still manageable for our daughter and for a 9-year-old that was with us on the journey.
Right, yeah.
We saw lots of other families, even with younger children, up at the top of the mountain on the refuges.
100% where those parents are like, look, they're only 5, they can do it.
They can do it. Yeah. Overall, it was a really incredible experience for all of us, and we'd 100% recommend it. Next up, if there's an opposite of a majestic, wild mountain with nature, it might be a theme park.
It might be.
But we discovered even the theme parks in France can have a very different vibe.
The park we're about to show you has won multiple awards, but I think very few people have heard of it outside of France.
It's not Disney. It's even better. It's Puy du Fou. Puy du Fou is a massive theme park, and it's a bit out of the way. It's roughly between Nantes and Poitiers.
Out of the way, it's in the middle of nowhere.
It is in the middle of nowhere,
Anyway.
but it's beautiful.
Yeah.
And it's well worth the drive. I wouldn't even exactly describe this place as a theme park to someone who's never been there because there are no rides at this theme park.
No, which I think many people in our group, all the teenagers, were very disappointed to realize when we got there.
Where are the rides?
It's actually, you said it was a theme park. It's actually, it's all divided into areas themed around different historical periods of France with these elaborate like sets and shows and performances that illustrate and celebrate history in France. It was so much more impressive than it sounds. I know, like when I was a kid and you'd go to like Six Flags or something, and there was always like a mom in the group who's like, let's go to the shows. And you're like, no, that's lame. So they were all very skeptical, but it was not like that at all.
No, it was incredible.
There's that word
There's
again.
another one, yeah. All the shows and events and spectacles are just produced at such a high level,
Yeah.
you cannot help be engrossed or pulled into the story that they're telling.
Yeah. So I never thought we'd be recommending a theme park, but I loved it. I can't wait to go back. I'm sad we only had one day.
Yeah, it probably wasn't enough. Sometimes I don't even know why we make an effort to leave the Dordogne during the summer.
It's pretty nice.
Yeah, summer here in the Dordogne is filled with incredible markets. The summer produce is ridiculous and delicious
Yeah.
and inexpensive. Plus, you never know what kind of funny thing or silly thing you're gonna run across when you're out and about. We spend the summertime here with our friends, enjoying gorgeous days at the small lakes, out on the rivers. We spend our time in the garden, making food together, eating together, talking, laughing, playing games.
Yeah, it's not such a bad way to spend summer.
No, it's not.
And of course, a big thing that we've spoken about before, but is attending the famous night markets with their long communal tables, yummy local food, late night dance parties, my favorite.
Dance parties in the countryside.
I feel like no one believes me until they see it, that these countryside villages and medieval squares really do turn into like DJ dance parties late into the night in the summer here in Southwest France.
No matter where you spend your summer in France, there's something wonderful to discover, and there's really no reason to leave.
Nope. I think this is another way we are slowly becoming French.
Maybe so.
Maybe so.
Yeah.
All right, thanks for watching.
A bientôt.